everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformer Studio Series SS-106 leader class Optimus Primal from Rise of the Beasts. You can see him there in his gorilla mode. We'll go ahead and put him off the side real quick. And yeah, look at this box. What you got is leader box. You got this nice bit of artwork here, you know, Primal charging through the jungle and everything, and 106 and Rise of the Beasts and Optimus Primal and all that stuff, and Transformers and blah. And on top, of course, you have the Rise of the Beast logo. On the side, you have, hey, look, another thing of Primal there screaming in gorilla mode. You have on this side, you have robot mode plus authentic Transformers. On the bottom, you have what's included and some barcode and some other stuff right there, manufacturing details. And on the back, you have, of course, some product shots and copyrights and warnings. And Optimus Primal and the Maximals guard a piece of the transwarp key from the unwelcome visitors. I think someone goofed there. They couldn't decide from or of and left both. So yeah, there's the box. Also, of course, inside the box is the usual backdrop, which is a nice jungle scene from Peru. And yeah, you can have the whole, backdrop thing flayed out and Primal kind of pose there if you want, or do what I do and just throw in the recycling. It also comes, of course, the instruction manual. There's a nice bit of blue right there. Tells you to transform him. He's not too complicated. There's a couple things like, why would you do that? Oh, I get it. Like, what? Why are you doing that? There's no real. Oh, that's why you're doing that. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah. Anyway, Primal in his gorilla mode. That's how he's packaged. That's how we start. And yeah, look at it up front. Well, he's black and silver and gray because yeah, he's a gorilla. He's a robot gorilla specifically. And you got a nice bit of textured detailing all over the place, like this stuff right here and here, like kind of looks a bit furish. Got very beady green eyes right there in the silver. Very nice details in the face right there. All that stuff. You got a little Maximal symbol right there on his right on his collar. Kind of the faded, scratched up paint thing on there on the belly. All that stuff, black and gray, and his little toes right there in his hands. His hands right there. All that stuff. On the back, you have some just tech detailing, whatnot. Kind of a weird looking legs, but it's kind of the thing right there. So there you go. Optimus Primal's gorilla mode looks pretty all right. A little compromised in some ways, but hey, it's just, that's kind of just how it is with these sort of things. But the good news is, he stands upright like this. He kind of looks a little goofy like that, but he can, of course, assume more, gorilla-esque pose. You guys can move those forward, move, those feet. You can move them forward a little bit. Get those kind of dealt with, get those kind of moved. You can, make those, rotate the fist a little bit like that, move his head up, and there we go. Now he's more, gorilla-like in his stature, which is nice. He looks good like this. I'm also going to bring this down a little bit more, because yeah, he's kind of small now. That's one big thing, is like, he's a leader class. Why is he so small? Well, because he's one of those leader classes, which is the whole thing, the reason it costs so much is because engineering. Also, that's not quite as far down as it should be. There we go. Yeah. He does look good like this, it's a gorilla-looking guy. He just looks like a gorilla, which is, kind of the point. Granted, a robot gorilla, but still looks like a gorilla. Accessories, he can hold his accessories, actually, in this mode, because, again, gorilla. So, so gorillas have opposable thumbs and everything, which, so yeah, you can hold the, if that doesn't untab on me like that. Yeah, but getting these hands open, which, yeah, they kind of, they really like to stay closed once they're closed, because, yeah, it's the way that it's done. It's kind of weird. There we go, that didn't want to stay tapped in, yeah. Yeah, his hands are 5mm compatible in gorilla mode. So he has a couple accessories, namely, couple swords, very Optimus Primal-esque swords. They're mirrors of each other. So you can hold either one of those, in his hand or his hands as a gorilla. That's nice. Those thing is there's a little slots on his back, which these are, can totally just tab into for storage, which is nice. So it can be gorilla carrying some swords on his back. Comes with an axe, which again, 5mm compatible, and possibly for someone specific and not him necessarily, but any which way he can, hold that X, like that. This also has a little tab right there, so if you want, you can also just kind of tab that in right there if you want instead. That's a thing. Comes with the chain, which, he didn't actually use this in the movie. It was supposed to. If you look at one of the early trailers, you'll see a chain thing. But yeah, you can use that, connect the swords and, because the swords are a little bit different. One's got a little peg and one's got a peg hole. And, you can do that, peg them all together, the big old chain sword thing, and have them hold that in some capacity if you want. There's that. And he's got a little transwarp key. You can see it's nice and silver and got that gold coppery finish in the middle. And yeah, I can, in fact, well, if I can split it apart. You can split it apart, and then lose both pieces if you want. But you can kind of hold this as well. It's just kind of not really a 5mm thing so much as just kind of somewhat wedge it in and hope it doesn't fall out thing. Yeah, but yeah, you can do that if you want. So that's the stuff there. And yeah. So yeah, if he's fully compatible with pretty much all his accessories in Gorilla mode because, well, yeah, it's a Gorilla, so it's got hands and everything. But composability, his head, it's got a ball joint, so it's you got up and down. You do have some degree of left and right. Unfortunately, it kind of doesn't work as super well when it's angled like this, so you kind of have to instead kind of tilt. Yeah. Speaking of, there is tilts as well. You can see that. His mouth, the jaw is open, which is cool. It can actually open about that far. It's neat. Shoulders can do a full 360, and there's outward, and this thing can get out of the way, so it can go pretty far outward. You have a bicep swivel, elbows, wrists can swivel, fingers can articulate like that, and they're split in a weird way. So there's you can have, it's 2 sets of 2 for the splits on the hinge there. So it's all right, you got that going on right there. Back here, things are a little limited because of in the Gorilla mode. You do have, kind of a little bit forward and back before things start to go outward. You do have a lot of outward. There's no knee or anything. The foot, like you saw, can go forward and back a little bit for standing or, I guess, on the knuckles. However you like to do that. So yeah, it's yeah, you do have some degree of options there if you like for posing, but really not a whole lot because just of the nature of his transformation and whatnot. There's some limitations, for better or for worse. Now, for comparisons, I'm only going to compare him to other beast modes for this because kind of a big robot gorilla in a truck is kind of a weird comparison, but whatever. So first off, just for the sake of it, here's Kingdom Optimus Primal. Kind of a thing, a bit smaller there. Voyager and Leader, but definitely a bit smaller, definitely lighter, all that stuff. And here he is with the rest of the Maximals in Studio Series. Here's Cheetor. Here's Rhinox. And here's Air Razor, actually. Never reviewed her, but yeah. I guess for quick review, she's basically just Kingdom Air Razor, for better for worse. There's a review. So good toy, but yeah, it's really kind of not quite accurate to the screen, but hey, there you go. So there's the Maximals from the movie in their beast modes, where they spent most of the movie anyway. We'll do more comparisons in robot mode because, yeah, those are more relevant. Plus, we'll show off some more of the stuff. But yeah, speaking of robot mode, getting him there. It's pretty straightforward, actually. So first thing, down here, this belly plate, you want to lift it away from here and rotate it around and just kind of bring it up like that. Like so. Back here, you want to go ahead and bring this up and over and make sure that tilt the head back like this as well. And make sure to bring this up and over the head and back around. This will come down right there like that against that plate. This right here, you want to move this back like so. Kind of have it at that angle, rotate this around, And then this right here, there's a little slot here which will go over this tab. You just kind of make sure this is all kind of as far back like that as it can be, and yeah, that's pretty much where it's gonna go, right there. Now, here then, what you can do is getting these arms out of the way a little bit. Bring the chest forward like that. Just kind of untabs and bring that forward, like so. You can go ahead and bring this up, and then bring the head forward like this. Rotate it around, and then bring the head back again. That's for clearance's sake, and then push it back in, and then close it back up. Like that. There's the robot head. Now down here at the legs, what you want to do is, okay, take these feet, bring those forward, and bring that down like that, and bring the toe forward and bring it down a little bit. Up here, you want to bring this up and then untab that right there. And then right here, there's a hinge right here. You can go ahead and bring this up like so, and also bring up the gorilla foot like that. And now this right here, there's a new tab right here, which will go in the same slot as before. And so sometimes getting it, it's kind of tricky to get that in place. You want to get this up and in place like here. And then this right here, you want to bring this down enough so this can hinge down further. Like, so there's multiple hinges there. So this tab and this, this tab and slot can meet up together. Like so, yeah, make sure the gorilla foot's as far up as possible. And then you can see the tab and slot going up into each other like that. And this can kind of go up like that. Right there, and also down here at the heel, bring that out right there. And there you go, that's one leg done. Same thing on the other side. Bring this up, bring this forward, extend the leg up, and also start bringing the gorilla foot and the robot foot forward as well. Now this will kind of latch in right here. That's this right here. You can see this kind of latches in right there. This will go up. Make sure to bring this down on this hinge, and then should be able to tab in. If it's all done correctly, it should tab back in like there. Make sure that's up. Make sure that's straightened out, and of course, bring out the heel. Legs are weird because like it's easy. It's like I know what to do. It's like you know what to do, but like it can be difficult to explain and show. But hopefully that helped a little bit. Here at the arms, you want to bring that forward. Now here, right here, you want to take the fist here and rotate it this way. Then bring this out on this hinge right there. Rotate it around 180. Then rotate the fist this way. Open this panel up. Rotate this around like so. Also, I'm going to make sure the fingers are all the way collapsed or else it won't work. Yeah, rotate this around, close this up, and then close this up. And this tab right here will go into this slot right here. Don't worry, it's going to flare out like that. And then, of course, on this side, bring this thing down right here, and this will cover up the fist on the inside right there, like that. That's one arm done. Now the same thing on this side. Again, make sure to rotate the fist so it's facing like this. Untab this and bring this out. Rotate it 180 like this. Then rotate the fist around like that. Open this up. Rotate this around. Like so. Close this up over the fist. Close this up over and tab this. Make sure it's all the way in. Yeah, close this up and then close this up and tab that over like that. And then bring this piece down. Cover that up. There you go. And that is pretty much Primal in his robot mode. And yeah, I can't really talk about the accuracy of this too much because, well, he was in the robot mode in the movie for all, what, 10 seconds or something like that. Yeah, but it's still a good looking robot mode and somewhat evocative of the original Beast Wars version, but not quite obviously. He's got his weird kind of pseudo faceplate mouth, which they had a kind of, there's a like, it's leader class. I was hoping there maybe like some sort of swap feature, but there's not. You got a nice little, very silvery Maximal logo right there. You got some kind of the scarring right there, I guess, on the paint right there, some silver right there, the silver and black and gray, kind of the faux metal robo abs. Same shoulders as before, a little bit different here at the forearms. Some kind of, the legs are, black and gray, and you got them again more of the scuffed up silver down here and the nice little feet and everything. Gorilla legs are just kind of chilling out back here and everything. And yeah, he's got a bit of a backpack, but it's nothing too egregious. There, all is kind of hanging back behind his head a little bit, but yeah. Yeah, Optimus Primal, the Studio Series version here, is pretty neat. Yeah, I just kind of wish we had the option for the faceplate head. That's my biggest gripe personally. But yeah, otherwise he does look really good. And the transformation, for what it's worth, is takes something that could be really simple and makes it a little bit better. Just adds in, uses that leader class budget for little bits of flair, like covers and whatnot, and just little extra things. But yeah, that's a thing. And even extra different hands that aren't oversized in this mode or anything. So hey, there you go, Primal. Yeah, again, same accessories. They're still all compatible, like this. And we got the whole hands can hold the swords, look good, like so. Do that. Again, you can do the whole chain thing. Kind of chain sword thing if you want. If you want to do that, that's a thing you can absolutely do. Because it was going to be in the movie and then it wasn't. By the way, this is 2 separate chain things. I almost forgot to mention that. It's 2 separate chain things. But yeah, you can do that if you want. Oops. Whoops. Of course, you can hold the axe if you'd like. Although, again, the way it's done, it's like this. Has to hold it a little bit up here, but you can hold it if you want. This, can be held by one of the hands if you want as well. Although, again, it's kind of mostly just using, the fact it just kind of slot in. It's not exactly a firm grip. And of course, once again, the same weapon storage still works, with the tabs and everything. It's just, still on the back, still works. There you go. For both the swords and the axe. Oh, one other bit of accessory storage. You can't really store the transwarp key anywhere, but the chain can be stored. They show one way in the instructions. I kind of like, there's just kind of, if you have these connected the right way, you can kind of compress this down in such a way that, it's not too, how should I put it? It's not taking up too much space, really. Let's see how much, there we go. That did not want to, yeah, you can compress it down. I'm not sure can't remember how they did it in the showed off instructions, but you can compress it down a bit, and there's little holes throughout, and there's this little peg right here, these pegs right here. You can go ahead and just kind of peg it on there however you want, and just kind of have it stored away if you want. It looks really ridiculous, but hey, you can do that if you want. So that's one other bit of weapons or accessory storage, I should say, if you want to store the chain on him. But yeah, it is a little goofy looking. So there you go. Now, posability. His head is on a ball joint, although it's kind of limited by this collar thing. But you got left and right. You got a little tiny bit up, a lot of down, a little bit of wiggle, not a whole lot, unfortunately. Shoulders are pretty much the same, full 360 outward. That gets out of the way, so you get a lot of outward. You got bicep swivel still. Elbows still work even though you reversed it. And of course, you can go the other way if you want. Wrists still are swivels, and the fingers are still the whole 2 sets of 2 thing, so you got that for the hinge right there. Do have a waist swivel in this mode, which actually works rather than it's all blocked up by everything. Hips, you have forward pretty far actually, back not that far back, really straight back. Outward, you do have over the full splits, and that will let you also do a lot more back if you want. You do have a thigh swivel. Knees can bend about 90 degrees or so, although you can also then untab it and get a little bit more, although it's going to look a little weird, but you can do that if you like. Down here at the feet, you do have a little bit of forward and back. Ankle tilts about that much, and you do have a dedicated toe joint, so there's that. If you want, and the heel can also go down if that's helpful for anything. So yeah, that's the posability, which pretty good, nothing amazing. Nothing super amazing, but it's a decent amount of, pretty good amount of posability, and he also looks pretty good. Now, some comparisons and some accessory stuff. So, First thing, I'm going to compare him to the Kingdom Optimus Primal just for the sake of it. See, again, yeah, difference in size there. Again, the whole he should be a Voyager thing. This is a Voyager. This is a leader. So there is a bit of height there. So just remember that. Here he is with the rest of the Maximals, including Air Razor and Cheetor and Rhinox. Wondering if we're going to get Ape Link or not, but yeah. Here he is with the Studio Series Optimus Prime for Rise of the Beasts, you know, the one that everyone's, you know, trying to get. By the way, yeah, the axe, this is actually, of course, Optimus Prime's axe, and, well, yep. You can have that. You can have his axe finally, and there you go. You can use that if you'd like, instead of just, you know. So again, the movie, there's that. Here's the other Rise of the Beast leader, just Scourge, just for the sake of that, just to give you an idea there. Yeah, Scourge is definitely taller by a significant amount, but also looks a bit lankier. You know, so that's something that people have been upset about. And just one other comparison for now, because here's Battle Trap. And yeah, one cool thing here is, yeah, the you can see Battle Trap's Wrecking Ball. In the movie, he often swung around on the chains. You know, my Optimus has a chain, so, you know, I'm going to just kind of make it shorter real quick. And yeah, to do that, well, first we'll get to take the Wrecking Ball off his hand if you have it on there. Now, what you need to do is you want to swing this around like this, kind of. You're going to want to have it kind of sitting out like this. And this right here, there's this little peg thing. You can actually, on the whole side, you can peg that into the chain. You can have the full thing, but that's a little ridiculously long. I'm just doing the half one. And then this right here, closing that up, there's a peg hole on here. There's also, yeah, there's two peg holes, right, you know, on either side. And you can, well, peg either one of those in, and bam, now you have Battle Trap with this chain ball and thing. On mine, the shoulder joint's a little loose, but you can do it. That is a thing you can definitely do now, which is pretty cool. Only thing is, yeah, now exposing this, but just if you're taking photos, just make sure that's not hard. It's not showing, duh. Yeah, so yeah, that's the thing. Again, you can have the longer chain. If you, I mean, theoretically, if you get a second chain, mace thing, you can get two of these going, because you do the same thing on this side, and there you go. So yeah, that's just kind of a little thing you can do. So yeah. That is the Studio Series Optimus Primal from Rise of the Beasts. It's a pretty darn good figure. I say this. The gorilla mode is kind of one of those weird things where it's like a lot of Optimus Primals have the weird gorilla mode. There's really not much to do about it, because you're kind of... Problem is you have to take, you know, human proportion legs and compress them down to gorilla legs, which are much shorter and everything, so it always winds up looking a little weird. But... you know, it is a it is a biped to a biped, essentially, well, kind of, you know, gorillas. But they didn't really integrate the whole flip around thing that, you know, the original did, you know, with the waist turning around or all that stuff. They didn't do that. They kind of, you know, there's no big, huge, like, you know, the big old shoulder pauldrons coming out or anything. But it does somewhat evoke Optimus Primal as a whole, but it is his movie self, although, again, I believe there might be some differences between the movie, because, again... things changed, and also he was only in robot mode for a very short amount of time, but he generally looks good, and he does come with several accessories which can, you know, as you saw, can, you know, help fill out the other figures and give them what they're supposed to have and whatnot. So, or you can use them for him or whatever. But thing is, he is leader price, so he's $55, and a lot of people are kind of don't really want to pay $55 for him, because they feel like he doesn't, you know, justify it, which I can get. So it's like $55 is kind of, yeah, he might be a little spendy. He's definitely worth more than a Voyager, I feel. But like, yeah, he's a weird, just non-existent midpoint, which, like, if he's like $45 or something like that, I think he'd be a little more, it'd be like, yeah, I think he's worth it, but 55 is a little pushing it, but he still is good overall. I do like it. I like the transformation. I like how he looks and everything. He's got good pose, all that stuff. He's just a good figure, and the biggest mark against him really is the price, and that's the only real problem. The only real problem. So there you go. Oh yeah, one thing I did forget, which is, if you know, with the swords, I just didn't think about it because I was thinking about the chain, which is, yeah, because of the way the swords are, you can also, you know, put them together into a little staff thing as well. You know, peg them together. I totally forgot because of the chain stuff. But yeah, you can do that. You know, just kind of do the whole sword staff thing, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, you can do that if you want. There you go. That's one last thing I almost forgot. I almost forgot that, but I got it in. But yeah, he is a good toy. He's just a little overpriced, maybe a little bit overpriced, but not too bad. It's just $45. If you guys are going on sale for $45, go for it. At that point, yeah, I think the accessories justify the price. Plus, he's got a good transformation. He's a good size and everything. So there you go. I hope you found this informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my social media. It's in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my Coffee, my Patreon, and I shall see you next time with another video review.